Hello, fourth graders. Happy Friday. We just have kind of a short mini lesson for math today, and then you're going to get started working on an activity that's going to tie together everything we've worked on this week with place value and the different number forms, comparing numbers, and today we're going to actually order numbers. But in order to do that, we still need to be working on our learning target of comparing two multi-digit numbers based on the meanings of the digits in each place. And when we are able to do this, we can put numbers in order. So we are going to quickly do our last number talk of the week. We know our hand signals by now. Here's our first problem. Your teacher can post this and pause to work through the number talk with you. Okay, friends, here is the last number talk problem for the week. You can pause now and work through this number talk. Okay, very quickly, we looked at these symbols yesterday, and I just want to show them to you one more time. When we compare numbers, we need these symbols. So we have the less than symbol that is the same direction as the letter L, which can help us remember less than. It is open to the right, and that would be the bigger number. If you look down at the greater than, it is open to the left, and that's the side that the greater number would be on. And then we also have our equal sign. Here's our place value chart. We are getting to be experts at all these different place values this week, starting from the ones all the way on the right and going all the way to millions. So we have ones, tens, hundreds. We have a comma between the hundreds and the thousands. Then we have 10,000, 100,000, and it's not showing on this chart, but we could have a comma in front of the 100,000 and then millions all the way on the left. Okay. So remember from yesterday, when we compare multi-digit numbers, we start with the largest place value. We then compare the digits in each place to determine which number is greater than or less than the other, or sometimes they might be equal. All right, the slide wants to stay with us today. Okay, so today we're going to put numbers in order from greatest to least or least to greatest. Now I'm going to show you some different ways you might see that on a test, and you need to be really careful that you pay attention to the order. It's asking you to put the numbers in. If it says greatest to least, you're going to start with the biggest number and go down to the smallest number. Or if it says least to greatest, you're going to start with the smallest number and go up to the biggest number. Now, just like with comparing, we use the values of the digits in the different places to help us do this, okay? So I want you to watch me try a couple of examples, and then you're going to try some on your own. So arrange these numbers in increasing order, beginning with the least. So this is written a little bit differently, but I wanted to show this to you because we don't know how we might see it on a test. So increasing order. If something is increasing, it's getting bigger. It also says beginning with the least. So we're going to start with the smallest number and go to the biggest. So really quickly, I am just writing these numbers on my paper, and I'm about to switch over. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to my ladybug so you guys can see my work. Now you can see I just am continuing on the page from yesterday. I added the date, so I have yesterday's work here, and this is today's. So I didn't really leave myself enough room when I started writing these numbers, but I have the number 2,400, 4,002, 2,040, 420, and 2,004. And if I remember, it said I'm going to do L to G. L for least to G for greatest to help me remember the order that I'm going to write these numbers in. Okay, so the least to the greatest. So if I just look at these numbers, I notice, let me grab my other color, that I have a thousands digit in all of the numbers except this one. Now, if we don't have a digit, we assume that there's a 0 there because there are 0 thousands. But because all of these have a thousands and this one doesn't, I know right away that that is my smallest number or the least number. So I'm going to start with that one. Okay? I'm going to cross it off so I know that I've already used it. Okay, so now I'm looking at my my 4 numbers that are left. So I have a 2, a 4, a 2, and a 2. So these 3 all have a 2 in the thousands place. This one has a 4. So that lets me know that this, because it's got the largest value in the thousands place, is going to be my biggest, my greatest number. So I'm going to go ahead and write that one over here and cross this one off. So now I'm left with 2,400, 2,040, and 2,004. I'm looking for the next smallest number. So I'm going to look at the next place over. Let me get a different color. So now I'm going to be looking at my hundreds place. So I see here I have a 4 in the hundreds place. I have a 0 in the hundreds place, and I have a 0. So I know that this one is bigger than these 2. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that one over here for a minute. I'm going to look at these. Now I need to go to even the next place. So I'm going to go to the tens place now. So we're ignoring this guy for a minute. So right here I have a 4 in the tens and a 0 in the tens. So if I'm just comparing these 2 numbers, that 0 in the tens place is smaller than this 4 in the tens place. So I know that this number is smaller than this number. So 2004 is less than 2040. So this one is going to go next on my list, 2004. Okay, now I have these 2 left. And if you remember, that one had a 4 in the hundreds. This has 0 hundreds. So I know that this number is smaller or less than this number. Okay, so this one goes next, 2040. And then that leaves us with that one, 2,400. Okay, now I always want to double check my work before I assume that I'm done. So 420 is less than 2004. 2004 is a smaller number than 2040. 2040 is less than 2,400. And 2,400 is less than 4,002. So I feel good and confident that I put those in the right order. So I'm going to draw a little line, and I'm going to hop back over to my other screen so I can get the next example that I want to show you guys. Put it in the other map. Okay, so I'm going to write these numbers down. 1,470, 847, 710, 1,047, and 147. Now I'm going to look at the directions, and I highlighted again what it's asking me to help you notice, to pay attention. Put these in decreasing order. If something is decreasing, it's going down. So we're going to begin with the greatest number and go down to the smallest number. So let's come back to my ladybug, and now I'm going to write G greatest to L least to help me remember. Okay, so just like before, I am going to start. Let me cover this stuff up. Get another paper. There, so you can just see what we're working on right now. Okay, so greatest to least, I need the biggest number. So I'm going to start with the greatest place value that I see, and that's the thousands. So I see a 1, I see nothing, which we can assume is a 0. I see nothing, which is a 0. I see a 1 and nothing, so another 0. Okay, so remember this time I'm looking for the greatest number, the biggest number. So I have a 1 in this thousands place and a 1 in this thousand place. And because those are the same, I'm going to go to the hundreds place. So just looking at these two numbers that have the thousands, in my hundreds I have a 4, and in this one I have a 0. So I know that 4 hundreds is greater than 0 hundreds. So this must be the biggest number. So I'm going to write it first. It was already first. It knew where it was supposed to go. Okay, and I'm going to cross it out because I've already used it. Now, looking at what I have left, I have a 0 in the thousands, a 0 in the thousands, a 1 in the thousands, and a 0. Oh, Jack the Math Cat is making a little bit of an appearance, guys. He's going to help us with place value. And a 0. So of these numbers, in the thousands place, the 1 is bigger than 0. So I know that that number is next. 1047. I'm going to cross it out. Okay. So now with the numbers that I have left, I'm going to look at the hundreds place because that is what we have. 8, we have a 7, and we have a 1. So just thinking about 800s, 700s, and 100, I know that 8 is the biggest digit, the biggest value in any of those hundreds places. So that one is going to be next. Okay, then I have a 7 and a 1, and I know that 700s is more than 100. So we're going to have 710, and then last is 147. And again, I want to check them over to be sure that I have them in the correct order. So 1,470 is bigger than 1,047, which is bigger than 847, which is bigger than 710, which is bigger than 147. Okay, so let's see. Jack, do you approve? Did we do a good job? Yes, he thinks we have done great. Okay, so let's come back over here. And now you have 2 sets to try it on your own. So your teacher can pause the video and model these with you if you need more practice, or give you time to try them independently in your journal or on your dry erase board. Okay, so pause now, work through these, and then come back for your independent activity. All right, friends, today for your last math activity of the week, you're going to work on a document that's called Place Value Practice, August 21st. And your teacher will give this to you either in your Google Classroom or eClass or however they prefer, okay? And you're going to think about all the things we've learned this week: place value, different forms, ordering numbers, comparing numbers, in order to fill out this activity. So I think you might have fun with it, guys. Y'all have done such a good job in math. We are so proud of you. Have a great